Good morning, Gilbert H. Hood. This is Mrs. Bovair, and I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine, Alexis Harrison. This is my friend, Mrs. Harrison.
Hi.
So I'd like to tell you, I met Mrs. Harrison because our daughters danced together. They started dancing together 6 years ago, and we became quick friends.
Yes.
So
it is hard not to fall in love with Mrs. Bovair.
So I became really interested in the Jimmy Fund and raising money for cancer research because of my connection to Mrs. Harrison. So I'd like you to get to know Mrs. Harrison and her story so that you can better understand why I'm really passionate about this. So, Mrs. Harrison, Tell us about how you got connected with the Jimmy Fund and the Dana-Farber Clinic.
Okay, so we had 3 children, and we had our 4th baby in December of 2013, and in January when she was 4 weeks old, she stopped moving her leg. So we brought her to the doctor and we did x-rays, and what they ultimately found out was that she had a tumor in her pelvis. So the Elliott Hospital was where we were, and they transferred us down to Boston Children's Hospital, and then Boston Children's Hospital is connected to the Jimmy Fund, so they do a lot of like inpatient and outpatient work together there. So that's how we ultimately got to the Jimmy Fund.
Cool. Now, what sort of services did the Jimmy Fund do for you and your family as Cecilia was undergoing treatment?
So the Jimmy Fund was where we would have outpatient treatment. So she would get her like injections and her chemotherapy through there. And we would also go back for weekly checkups there.
And tell me about what the doctors were like, what the sort of things that they did for your family when she was staying there.
So the doctors were amazing. They were basically like, extended family members, like aunts, uncles. The nurses are just incredible, just so compassionate, loving. She would be so sick and they would scoop her up, and act like they were just her own. They were just such an incredible, it's like an extended family. And
I know that you're still even close with the doctors and nurses that worked with Cecilia.
Yes.
Over all that time.
Yes, so they have, so for babies and children that have passed away, the Jimmy Fund and Boston Children's Hospital have a day of remembering. So we go down for that. And Cecilia's main nurse goes to that every year. And I've seen her doctors on the Jimmy Fund walk. I actually still text with one of her doctors. And we actually named our 5th child, 5, right?
Yes.
5. Mariella after her doctor. Yes.
Who's an awesome woman.
Yes.
So how long have you been participating in the Jimmy Fund walk?
So this coming year will be our 4th year walking.
And how many people have walked on Team Remembering Cecilia? What do you think, approximately?
Over so people have come and gone, but I would say over 40 people, probably.
That's awesome.
40 different people.
And how much money has Team Remembering Cecilia raised for the Jimmy Fund?
So we've raised over $35,000 over the last 3 years.
Wow. So what does the money raised by the Jimmy Fund go toward?
So in the past, we've actually designated the money to be restricted for malignant rhabdoid tumor research. That's the tumor that Cecilia passed away from. So that money would go to the doctor who was doing the research for that tumor to hopefully, find a cure for this particular cancer.
So for doctors to be able to do research on certain types of cancers, they have to receive enough money to run the tests for a length of time to be able to see how you can keep on. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, I'm sure, as you guys have learned doing science. So sometimes it takes longer and longer. And as we stand now, they have not found a cure or treatment for.
No. So the particular cancer that Cecilia had, the only way to cure basically so far is to be able to remove the tumor immediately. And because of where her tumor personally was in her pelvis, we couldn't do surgery. So there has been no child that has survived this cancer unless it's been removed immediately.
So I know that this has become a really important thing for all of us, and that's why Mrs. Ayotte and I have become really passionate about this. And I knew that meeting you and understanding your story and why we ended up caring so much about this. I got to go to Boston and see the doctors and nurses working with Cecilia. I got to be there. I got to see all the cool events that they helped host with for the families of the patients and the really way that they make everyone feel really included.
Oh.
I was really passionate about being part of the Jimmy Fund Walk, and I really wanted to bring it into the school. What do you hope that raising money through the school, what can we hope to achieve through raising money?
I guess, the reason why we walk is one, just to remember our daughter and kind of continue this legacy so that people know that this does happen. It's not just someone else's family, that it can happen to, a friend or, a family member. But just that someday we will find better targeted therapies for families so that people don't have to say bye to their brothers and their sisters and their children. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. And I'm so glad you got to meet my friend, Mrs. Harrison. And thank you so much, Gilbert H. Hood, for all your help in fundraising for the Jimmy Fund.
Thank you.
Thank you.